Shalom, this is Amonute Tayac of Piscataway, your friendly neighborhood Shuman, Sophia Spiritualite, the AmaruKhan Miriyam, and we're here with a video discussing the third element of that article that I brought up with the different flowers and just explaining what the last one mean that I hadn't quite seen. I didn't know what it meant, and I think I got some clarification, which I mentioned in a previous video, but I wanted to just make a whole separate video so I could put all of this information on one playlist if people are trying to understand what's going on within that. So let's take a look at our document here. So remember, this is the document that's the charm against witchcraft, and it's Sumerian in theme. So I'm going to start here and so I can explain what's going on. Here it says Inky's diagnosis. Inky, upon release from Eridu, lives a sick man. He placed his hand on the head and felt the side of the body. He himself identified the man's illness. Since there is dis-ease, sagging of the skin in the human body, it can neither be a rib striker, a saku, or a ghost, nor a blow dealt by a god. The cause of evil must be the human language or a spell. And so remember, Asar Louis does not know how to cure this man. And we have the list here. Segusu or sorghum flour is the taboo of the ghost. Kibtu wheat flour is the taboo of the god. Inunu or barley flour, which dissolves charms. It mixed them up. So barley dissolves charms. Okay, so let's go down. We talked about regurgitating the food. We already talked about that. We talked about, and that's associated with the ghost. We talk about the wheat, which is the coughing. That's associated with the gods. Now here's the last one, and I couldn't quite understand this one. Right? Which, let's start with 40 here. Let him make what is in his body evaporate like sweat. Or the variation is, let him drip like water from a vase. Like water on a well-rinsed pot, let it wash away. Ningrium, or which we're going to talk about. I forgot about her. When Utu holds the top of the sky, will undo his knots. Okay, so I know that seems kind of short, but let him make what is in his body evaporate like sweat. Let him drip like water from the vase. Okay, I'm going to go back over here. Let's have a conversation. So when you're trying to remove the charms, i.e. the evil eye, hoodoo, voodoo, spells, curses, those kind of things that people have put on you knowingly and unknowingly, it's not just that you have to eat the barley or use the barley flour, it's what the barley makes you do, and or what you're supposed to do as a part of this process of consuming the barley, and that is sweat. And so we have been encouraged to go and exercise and stuff like that, and that's one of the main reasons why we should be exercising and coming to a sweat, because that sweat is the proof that the curse has been removed from you. So it's not that you necessarily have to go and exercise really heavy. A walk in the sun is probably the best option. And you want to walk until you sweat, obviously. So you might have to wear extra layers to make sure that you sweat. But that's going to be your best option, because it says that Ningrimi, and this all has to do with Utu, who is, the sun god, quote unquote, will remove this stuff from you. So that's your best option, is to sweat in the sun. Your second best option is just a sweat, period. So you could use a sauna. You could, one thing I used to always do when I was sick, I mean, always religiously, when I was sick, I would wrap up in a blanket and I would make myself sweat. And when I would sweat, while I was sick, my sickness would go away. I would force it out. So any of those, quote unquote, old wives' tales about sweating out the sickness, that works for these charms and stuff too. It's just that you have to keep in mind that's what's going on. I think a lot of this is making sure you understand the process. At least for me, it is. So I'll give you an example I have, and how I realized this. My grandmother, as I have mentioned many times, I believe she was stricken with a curse. And she ended up with tuberculosis of the eyes at a very young age. So she couldn't finish school, even though she was the smartest one in the class, because my grandmother was an avid reader. And she was very, very smart, but she got this tuberculosis of the eyes. She couldn't finish school. She ended up having to start, quote unquote, working as her own business owner, cleaning houses. Okay, so she was a business owner, even though I don't think they treated it like that. But she was cleaning houses, and she met my grandfather, and that's all worked out well for me. But one of the problems that she had is that she didn't sweat. So when she got overheated, which happened when she got older from time to time, she would just pass out, but she would never sweat. And so it's my belief that that is what they do to us to keep us from getting rid of these curses, especially if you're like me and you're like heavy set or overweight. If you don't sweat, if you don't sweat, all of those curses remain inside of you. The removal of those curses has directly to do with sweating. And this is why you see skinnier people, in my opinion, who exercise and work out a lot, they don't have all of these problems. I'll tell you another example why I know this is right. Every single time I would start exercising. So like in high school, I didn't do no physical sports because I was in the choir and it took all of my time. But I sweated a lot because the choir room was hot, and the choir room was hot, and it was like over 100 of us in the choir. And we really worked, like, I really treated it seriously, like it was an athletic sport. Because like I've said before, that's why I learned how to do my diaphragmatic breathing at 13. So, anyway, that's a whole nother story. But the point is, when I came out of high school, like when I went to college and I would start to exercise. Now, mind you, we had a free gym on campus. I would start to exercise and then I could never keep it up. Then when I graduated college, I tried to exercise after actually, when I really started exercising for real, I would always get pregnant. Then I couldn't exercise anymore. So this happened many times. Every time I got serious about exercising, something would happen where I couldn't afford it. I couldn't go. I didn't have a car. I didn't have everything would be removed from me so that I could not exercise. Because one thing about me is I'm a very serious person. So if I'm exercising, I take that very seriously. I'm not, playing around. I'm like really working. And so every single time I would try to exercise, something would happen. I couldn't exercise anymore. So this even happened to me over the summer. I was going to the gym every single day. Like, it was no problem. And then all of a sudden in August, everything fell apart. I couldn't go into the gym anymore because I didn't have enough money for gas. The car was acting funny. Y'all remember, I would talk about this. My car was acting, they took my car, before when I was exercising. So before, these are all the different times I tried to exercise. I was doing step class, right? They got me out of step class when my godson was tragically, he wasn't murdered, he tragically died. And after that, I couldn't go back to step class because he would always come with us. It was just too hard. So the lady moved the classes to a new location, and then I started going, and then I couldn't. Again, something happened, and my money got all messed up, and I didn't have a car anymore, and I couldn't go. Then, I'm like just out here, walking on the beach and whatever, and I can see why all of these, different things kept attacking me, because every time I would exercise and sweat, especially in the sun, that would be, removing some of these curses from me. So I don't even know how much more there is to remove, but I know that I am going to be dedicated to my exercise plan for the rest of my life. Once I get into it, and I can get back into step class and all of that stuff, going to the gym, all of that, I'm going to be very, very dedicated to it, because I know that it is what will keep these things off of me. Not, I'm taking the barley on the inside, okay? I'm using it on the outside in the body wash. And then I'm also taking the extra step of making sure that I sweat. So if you have a lot of what you believe are curses on you, now I didn't even know I had curses on me, to be honest, until I thought about, actually it was on Saturday when I was off the grid because my phone was down, and I had gone to the gym, and I was like, wait a second. Why is it that I have such a hard time staying, dedicated to the gym? I mean, I started making videos with the prayers every day, right? I had no problem. I did that for 3 whole months, and then I got taken off of that because it was revealing too much to those who seek, to take my life. So I was forced off of that, but I still every day intend on going back into that. That's what I'm working on in the background, putting together this, I think it's called the Holodrion, the prayer book, so that we can get into how we're supposed to be doing these daily prayers. So every single day I'm working on getting back into this. This is no, small thing for me. I just knew I had to be taken off of it, but I'm still working on it. It's still on my mind. But when I'm not able to go to the gym, it doesn't, or exercise in general, get outside and sweat, it doesn't affect me in the same way. It's like, oh, well, I guess I'm just not exercising now. It's not like, oh no, I gotta hurry up and get back to the gym. I gotta figure it out. I don't have that feeling. So it's like, okay, what inside of me is thinking that, oh, it's okay for me to, be this weight, which doesn't match with how I see myself in my head. It just doesn't match up. So, that's what I take from this. So, if you're not a person who has problems with exercise, it's not affecting you the same way. But if you are a person who has issues with exercise, you know, this could be something that is affecting you. And we do have a sister in the nation that deals specifically with older people and mobility and stuff like that. And so I'll leave her information in the description, or you can contact me, and I'll I'll give her I'll give you her information. I don't really want to make her information public because I just started thinking about this, but I had posted some videos that she made when we did the last, big fast everybody was doing, talking about, the health benefits of like water and stuff like that, and how you can make it healthier and all of that. So, we do have people who are knowledgeable about this stuff, but I think in this context of literally using the sweat to make sure that these people can't put these curses on you, and they don't stick to you because you're sweating it out every time they say. So like, for example, another example is I seen people talking about how every time they go to get their feet done, they have the evil eye thrown at them. Well, if you're getting the evil eye thrown at you when you go to get your feet done, then you need to, after you go to the place, you need to be going to the sauna and making sure you sweat that out. It's just like you have to reprogram your mind to think, if I'm in a place where people are attacking me via the evil eye, I need to make sure that once I leave that place, I go somewhere where that's not going to happen. So like, if you're worried about going to church, maybe after church you shouldn't be going out to eat. You probably should be going to the gym, do some sweating, get that stuff out, and then you can go on with your day. And that's something that I am going to do. When I feel like someone is throwing the evil eye at me, I'm going to go to the gym, even if it's just to sit in the sauna and make sure I sweat it out so that I don't carry that stuff with me. I'm still, I don't sweat as much as I should. So, that's a whole nother issue. But I can, I had to work really hard to be able to break into a sweat when I did any exercise. Like I had to, it was a very, very strenuous exercise process that I have to do because I'm naturally an athletic person. Even if I don't look like it, I'm naturally an athletic person, and that's why I say my mind and my body don't match up. And so it's been really, really difficult, through this process for me. So anyway, I was wondering if I would run across anybody who was affected by these curses, these charms, but obviously I'm way more affected than I realized. And so it's just me encouraging people to, go to the gym. If you don't go to the gym, when you go outside and you take a walk, make sure you walk until you sweat. You want to be sweating as much as you can. That means you have to drink a lot of water that's prepared properly. I have the videos up still, the shorts that she sent me, so I'm going to repost those. Wow, that's amazing, that stuff. Nothing ever goes unused in the kingdom. The kingdom is way smarter than us. Because I remember talking about that. So, shout out to the sister Leah Yehuda. I might need you to start making them little shorts again so that we can get these out here to our people. I'm gonna send her a message. So anyway, that is what I wanted to share. We have our new moon coming, full moon coming up, full moon in Leo. The video for that should be out in a few days, so everyone can be prepared for that. So I hope this meets everyone well. Of course, you're welcome to like, comment, subscribe, share, subscribe, unlike, unshare, unsubscribe. Support me if you feel so inclined on Cash App, which is in the description. And shalom, everyone. We'll see you in the next video.